Hello peoples, I'm Sasha and I'm a little random, and today we are going to be doing a quick repot. Welcome and welcome back. Okay, so today we're going to be repotting my pilea grandifolia because it is very root bound and I needed to have space to grow and frolic and just be happy. Okay, so we are putting this in a 4-inch pot, 4.5-inch pot inside of a orchid pot just because it's sturdy but it's easier to bend and I like to be able to transplant my plants very easily. This is a nice pot from Amazon. All the products are from Amazon except for this tub and this scoop, which is from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so let's get this started. Now, first of all, I know one of your first questions is going to be, why are you repotting in the middle of winter? Well, it's still growing. But before we still go any further, can you see how root bound that is? Look at that. It is time, people. It is way past time. So, let me get the sticker out. But yes, it's still growing. And as long as your plant is growing, I feel like if it's growing within the last 2 weeks, it's okay to repot it. It doesn't know it's winter time. We know it. We feel it. There's snow outside on the ground right now in Maryland, okay? All right, so let's just put that back in. I just wanted to check the roots right quick. So, we are going to do a quick soil mixture very quickly. Let's just go through what we're using. Perlite, espoma. I'm getting a little glare here. Perlite, espoma. Medium orchid bark. Dr. Vermis worm casting or worm poop. And because this plant likes water, we are going to do full all-purpose black gold soil. Now, normally I would mix 50% regular soil and cactus soil, but this plant likes water. So we're going to skip the cactus soil. So let's get started. All right, so get my pot because this is how I'm going to measure. All right, let's just get this about halfway full. Okay, that's about halfway full. I like a really chunky soil for most of my plants. Okay, 1 handful, 2 handfuls. I know, these are like perfect measurements, right? 2 handfuls of orchid bark, medium. And just so you can see the size of these, let's see if I can give you this is how small the medium is. And it works really great. I also have this in my Monstera, which is behind me. Okay. Now, perlite. I don't need a lot of perlite because, again, I would mix 50-50 perlite. But, again, this plant likes soil. So, we're going to dump this out and put like a 1/4 cup of very dusty perlite. Dump. Okay. Now for my worm castings. You don't need a lot of worm castings in your soil because if you don't have that many worms in your soil, now do you? So, I usually do 2 to 3 spoonfuls for this small 4.5-inch pot. I'll do 2. For my Monstera, I think I did 5. And that is in a 8-inch pot. So, we'll just do that. Boom. Fold that back up. I know I said this was going to be quick, but it may not be. I'm all hands on deck with mixing soil. All hands on deck, okay? Sometimes I'll mix with a spoon or my shovel, which I didn't need today. But it's not a lot of soil, so I'll just mix it by hand. I usually only use my shovel when it's like a 8-inch or 6-inch pot. And I need to make sure I get deep so I can mix everything from the bottom to the top. This right here, just mix by hand. Okay, so let me see if I can show you what this looks like now. Okay, let's do a quick tilt. Can you see that? It's chunky, right? Chunky. And it's very free flowing, so that's going to let a lot of water drain through easily. We're all even. I think we're good. Oh, found a rock. Don't know where it came from, but it's going in the trash. Bow. All right. So, where's my cup? We just going to put enough in to cover the bottom. And I'm hoping that I made enough. It should be just enough. Let's measure here. Okay. I think that sits well. What do you think? I think that sits well. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's see if we can loosen up the root ball just a little bit. This was actually attached to the pot. I tried to pull it out to check the roots, and all the roots that were tangled up at the bottom were holding on to the outside of the pot. I wish I got a picture of it, but that is not what happened. So we're just going to try to untangle some of these roots. These roots are very, very thin. If you break a few, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but you don't want to break a lot, okay? So I just want enough so that it knows that it can grow out. Just enough. So I think that's good. See? I think that's good. I do have some plants where I just took it out of the pot. Plants that were root bound. Just took it out the pot, put it in another pot, and they seem to be doing well. Which plant was that? This one here. My Syngonium holly. This one here was root bound. I just took it out and repotted it, and like we have new growth coming in, see? And everything. So it's doing fine. So you can do that. I won't speak against it. Just for this particular plant, I just wanted to loosen up the roots. No particular reason why. It's just how I'm inspired today, I guess. Okay. Okay. So let's get the dirt in around the sides first. I'm using my handy dandy spoon. So, yes, I repot in the winter. I also fertilize. Again, if your plant is growing, it's okay to fertilize. Now, when I do fertilize, whether it's spring or summer, I do it at half strength. So, I'll show you the fish fertilizer that I use, and I'll put one of these spoonfuls into a gallon of water. So let me show you right quick. Hold on. So, this is the fertilizer I use, Alaska. You can also use these in houseplants, flowers, and outside gardening. My sister is the outside gardener. I do okay. She also uses the Alaska. And it works really well for her. Now, so I do fertilize if the plant is growing. If the plant is not growing and I have not seen any new growth in at least 2 weeks, then I know fertilize. I know fertilize. Don't do it because your plant is not growing, and that means it's not going to use that fertilization, and it may burn the roots and or the leaves. You don't want that. You spend money on a plant. You want to look at it. It's pretty. You want it to survive. You don't want it to get burnt up just because you want it to grow quicker, okay? But I do highly recommend the Okay, that looks good. I do highly recommend the Alaska, and I do highly recommend the worm castings. I have noticed a change in my plants and how they grow, how quickly they grow, the size of their leaves. The combination has really been working for me, okay? All right, so I think we are all good with this quick repot. When I do repot, I make sure I tap the sides to make sure the soil settles. This is a clear pot, so I can kind of see that it's doing pretty good. Plus, I can squeeze the sides a little bit. So let's check for air bubbles. All right, there was one right there. That's another reason why I like these clear pots. You can see the roots growing. You can see if there are any air pockets. You can see if you have any rotten roots once the roots do start growing around inside. So it's really great. Plus, since it's flexible, it's just like a nursery pot. You can squeeze it out and you don't have to use a butter knife to get it out of the pot to switch to another one when it's time to repot, okay? All right, so I think this is good. I do believe in watering your plants when you repot, okay? I do believe in that. So let's grab us some water and just do a quick water here. Dollar store, people. $2 right here. I don't know how big it is, but 4-quart. What is that? Yeah, $2, but it doesn't say, oh, half gallon. Boom. Works great to keep around. We're going to water this very well to make sure that any dirt that hasn't settled, settles. To make sure it knows that it can grow. And we are getting some good drainage. Okay. I dig it, yeah. I dig it. I think we're good to go, people. All right. Pilea grandifolia. Okay. Do a little bit more water. Okay. All right. So, since we are all set now, we got the water, we got the pot. It is a little bigger than the pot, but I'm just going to deal with it because I didn't want to pot it straight into the pot for the reasons I already said. That's how that looks. Boom. And it does come with a tray because you need a pot with a tray. And we are just going to put this right where it belongs. Actually, I might change this. We're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to put that up there. And put this down here. Okay, I like that. We can up this back now since we don't need it dimmed down anymore. All right. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Don't be strangers. Let me see you in the comments, okay? All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. I also have some random videos that I do here and there. The next one is probably going to be another ear stretching video, but I don't know. It could be a get to know me. It could be me fishing on ice. That's not going to happen. I don't like the cold. But, you know, it could be anything. We don't know. It'll pop up when it pops up, okay? All right. Laters.